Let's talk about how to grow a home service brand. And I know I've talked at length on this channel about the benefits of having a good brand, such as better close rates, better set rates, lower cost per lead. There's just so many benefits to having a good brand. And I've talked at lengths about branded leads and all these other things, because at the end of the day, having a really good brand is what's going to be able to have a really good company. And you may not believe this, but hey, the benefits are there. You see the biggest companies, they got the biggest brands. There's a reason. There's a correlation. And so let's talk about it. And hey, I'm Carl Stoy, the founder of Stoy Media. And over the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, we've been helping service businesses scale with paid ads, getting them more people in the pipeline ready to talk. And we've also been working with home improvement companies on a pay-per-lead basis and as an agency. And so I've made a different video about the differences, but let's talk about how to grow a home service brand. Number one, I need you to simplify and take this brand out of the black box. This is not that complicated, but it's not that easy because it takes time and it takes a bit of effort. And let me just give you an analogy of how to grow this home service brand in a way that may make a little bit more sense to you. And so I want you to see this brand as if it was a person, not an idol, but a person. And so I need you to see and just really think for a moment. How would a person, such as yourself or such as me, how would we get famous? Like if we wanted to get famous, not selling your soul, how would you want to get famous? Would you consistently post on social media? Would you post articles? Would you try and appear on TV? Would you try and appear on radio? Would you try and appear in a movie? Would you try and appear in all the different places? Do you see what I'm getting at right now? If someone were to want to get famous, they would want to show up everywhere. Does that kind of make sense? They would want to post on social media. They would want to post articles. They would want to show up on billboards. Ultimately, the whole reason they are doing these things is because they want to get their face out there more. They want to have an identity attached to them that is good. They want a good identity to them, and they want more people to see their face. And so I want you to see your company, the home service company, the same way. You're going to want to post on social media. Why? Because you want your company's logo, your company's brand. And by brand, let's break that down. Your company's brand is your logo and the identity attached to it. Now, logo, mascot, same thing. You could realistically not have a mascot and just have a logo, but the brand behind it, the whole reason why a good brand is a good brand is because what people think about when they see it. So let's give an example. So some of the biggest window companies, they tend to not have a mascot, but they have a logo. The difference here is that when you see their logo, you know them as the company that everyone uses. And if everyone uses it, they must be good. And so to them, this logo means good products, good installation, security. Because here's the thing. If you work with a small contractor that not a lot of people know, you're not going to associate a secure installation. Because if you go with one of the biggest window companies, you're going to expect that this is done right. And if it's not done right, they're going to do everything to make sure it is right. For the smaller contractor, they're not going to see them as that trustworthy because they're just not that large. They don't have the law of social proof. If you read the book Influenced by Robert Cialdini, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so if we kind of go back to this, a brand is your logo and the identity attached to it. And the identity attached to it is what people think of when they see this logo. When they see, McDonald's, they think about their food. And if you like the food, then every time you see the McDonald's logo, you're going to think of good food. And if you've had a couple bad experiences with McDonald's, every time you see the McDonald's logo, you're going to think of bad food. Okay? And so the way you kind of curate this identity is through showing your face more and building up that social proof. How would you want to do that? Let's go back to the person. The person would want to get famous by posting on social media, posting on the articles, showing up on billboards, even though there's not a direct ROI for them by having a billboard, having social media posts, but having their face out there more gets them more opportunities to partner with people. And similarly with you, getting your face out there more increases the chances that someone may see it on social media and say, I want a quote for my roof. I want a quote for my garage. I want a quote for my windows. And so think about it like this. You're making a person famous. How would you do it? This is what you're going to do. You're going to do your list of things. And it's very simple when I explain it like that, but it is not that easy because it takes time. See, I post a lot of these videos, and if you check out, I maybe at this moment have like 210 videos, and I have 60 something subscribers. Now this is B2B, so I understand that I'm not going to have that many subscribers doing B2B, but you're going to see that basically everyone who posted on social media, who ran, did anything to grow their brand, it didn't happen overnight, unless you got very lucky, which that happens sometimes. But don't forget that there are some actions that you're going to need to take in order to grow this brand, and it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to see a direct ROI from it, because at the start, you're going to be spending money on a billboard just to get your logo out there and your offer, but you may not get that many inquiries. And you're going to say, well, 200,000 people are driving past us every week. Why am I not getting, blown up business? Why are not 1 million people blowing up our phone? Well, it's because it takes time. You're posting social media, and now, you're a week in and you haven't gotten that many inquiries. Why? Because it just doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it does. Sometimes, by the grace of God, it does happen overnight, but most of the time, it doesn't. And so I urge you, it's very simple when you think about growing your brand. Like I said, back to the identity. You want to make sure you curate. Let's make sure I spelled this right. You want to curate an identity aligned with the way you want your brand to appear. So, if you want your brand to appear as consultative, you want to be consulting people in the sales, which is honestly the best sales process. People trust the authority, and if you position your company as the authority, you're going to get a higher close rate. And so if you want to curate an identity of consultativeness, where you're consulting people and saying, you know what, for your specific situation, I think this roofing product, or I think this window product is going to be the best thing for your situation, to curate that identity, you want to post stuff in alignment with that. So to curate an identity of consultativeness, or being a consultant, you want to post YouTube videos talking about topics that would teach someone. So teaching people. You would want to post stuff in alignment with teaching people. If you want to be seen as trustworthy, you want to also post stuff teaching people, because who do you trust? You were younger. You probably trusted your teachers or whoever was teaching you stuff. And so you trusted them. And if you want higher close rates, they got to trust you. And so post in alignment with this identity for the brand. So you want to be seen as the funny contractor? Cool. Post your funny stuff. That's how you want to appear. That's how you want to appear. But I do urge you, if you want to keep posting your funny stuff, you're going to unfortunately run into a dead end where you're going to be like, why am I getting all these views but no leads? I urge you, if you have a home service company, post stuff that teaches people. And I made a different video about how to not run out of content ideas for your home service business. Essentially, long story short, teach people. Teach people on your YouTube. If you want to be seen as trustworthy and you want to be seen as someone who can consult someone as the authority, you're going to want to post stuff teaching people. And that's really, to make a long story short, what this is all about. You want to be making sure that when you're growing your home service company's brand, you see it as if it was a person trying to become famous, but you don't want to become famous for the wrong reasons. So you want to post stuff teaching people. You want to post stuff, educating is kind of like the same thing, but teaching people. If you want to have funny stuff, that's also great. You want someone to enjoy being around you. You want someone to enjoy watching all your stuff, even if they're not directly in that bottom of funnel or the middle of funnel looking for the solution. So you can post some funny stuff, but don't only post funny stuff. And That's really the basis of how to grow a home service brand. And if you got some type of value from this, I would love if you drop a comment, drop a like. And also, if you are potentially looking to buy more leads from Stoy Media for your home service business, like roofing, really anything, then click the link in the description, fill out some basic business information, and schedule a call on the next page. We'll talk to you soon. And like I said, if you have any comments, drop a comment. That's what they're for.